Once upon a time, in the quaint village of Breadville, an adored and peculiar tradition gripped the hearts and stomachs of its residents: the annual hunt for the mythical golden bagel. This wasn't your typical sesame seed or plain bagel, no sir. It was a glistening, finely baked creation rumored to bring a year of unbeatable luck and infinite cream cheese to whoever held it. This year, the competitors were as fierce as the hunger that drove them. Sally, the five-time reigning champ with a sniff like a bloodhound for pastry; Bob, a newbie with unmatchable enthusiasm but zero coordination; and Mrs. Peabody, an 84-year-old who claimed to have invented bagels. A contentious debate still rages in Breadville's historical society about this. Before sunrise, the villagers armed themselves with magnifying glasses, maps, and an incredible array of bagel-themed gadgets. As the mayor fired the starting toaster, a symbol that sent a giant inflatable bagel soaring into the sky, chaos unfurled. Sally darted north towards Yeasty Park. Bob stumbled east towards Crumble Lake, almost tripping over his own shoelaces, while Mrs. Peabody rode her motorized scooter, complete with a custom bagel-shaped sidecar, towards the mysterious, flowery forest. In Yeasty Park, Sally's nose twitched as she picked up hints of a divine baked scent. She followed the aroma to a suspicious bagel-shaped rock. Just as she reached out, a squirrel, feeling particularly territorial that day, launched an acorn at her head, causing her to retreat yelping. Over at Crumble Lake, Bob had encountered his own bizarre obstacle. While knee-deep in the water searching under soggy leaves, a group of competitive ducks, mistaking him for a participant in their secret breadcrumb gathering tournament, pursued him relentlessly around the lake. Meanwhile, Mrs. Peabody, in Flowery Forest, found herself midst an impromptu yoga class led by bagel-loving hippies who insisted she'd discover peace, and perhaps the golden bagel, through extreme relaxation techniques. Nothing could be less relaxing for Mrs. Peabody, especially when asked to do a pretzel twist. As the day wore on, the village square buzzed with anticipation. Stories of the participants' misadventures trickled back, causing roars of laughter and empathetic groans. Suddenly, from the direction of the enigmatic espresso emporium, a figure appeared holding something brilliantly shiny overhead. It was Mr. Bumble, the shy local librarian, who'd been so intent on a book about bagel folklore, he'd accidentally stumbled upon the golden bagel in a dusty, forgotten section of the library. Mr. Bumble, who had never intended to join the ruckus, was crowned the unexpected champion. As he was graced with a crown adorned with mini bagels, the villagers celebrated with a feast of bagels of every conceivable type. Sally, Bob, and Mrs. Peabody, each nursing mild bruises and ruffled dignities, could only laugh at their wild pursuits. Amidst cream cheese smears and coffee spills, the village reveled, united by their quirky ordeal and the legend of the golden bagel, already looking forward to next year's pandemonium. And so, Breadville's tradition thrived, as did its sense of whimsy and community. Whether it was serenity or chaos, every chase, it seemed, led not just to bagels, but to each other. In Breadville, that was more than enough, seasoned generously with tales to tell and share.